it is a lot of great things to offer if you just get out there and search for it. There's a lot of things here can offer you if you just look for it. Education, if you just kind of look for different stuff. Like, for instance, there's a lot of good schools. My kids go to a good school, and next year they're going to be going to another school that's real good, Christian Academy. And so I'm into all about teaching them about God and stuff like that. And so I think there's a lot of good things if you just look for them. I think my neighborhood is missing a lot of things that for the kids. I think if the kids, they need something to keep them out of trouble. They need a lot of rec centers to keep them out of trouble, especially during the summertime. And a lot of kids get out there, and me as a single mom, I have to work. So if I don't work, then I don't provide for them. And so I think it needs a lot of good, positive people to help our kids grow. So I'm all about kids. I work at the daycare, so I'm all about bringing things like something big to Oklahoma City, like far as maybe like SeaWorld. You know how different places have a lot of SeaWorld and Six Flags and stuff like that. So that'll be something that they could bring. I'm all about kids. So
more places like the zoo and the science museum.
Yeah. And even downtown, it does have a little stuff that you can do with the kids, but mostly it's mainly for adults. I mean, they could put something downtown that'll get us involved with kids and stuff.
So making downtown a little more kid and family oriented.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
People friendly, nice, friendly area. Everybody's well-rounded, diversity, so pretty friendly.
Okay.
From my neighborhood, that's a tough question. We have pretty much everything. A little park, kids. What we be missing? Maybe some little road work or construction takes a little too long around the building areas out there.
Yeah, so like road construction or just construction in general?
Yeah, the road construction, things like that. Yes.
Okay.
Favorite place I visited, I can steal one thing.
Yeah.
I went to Cozumel and it was nice. The whale watching, this, I guess some of the plants and things of that nature around over there.
Okay,
so I like that.
Nature there?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Love Oklahoma City, Thunder Up.
Right.
That's about it.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
One of my favorite things about living in Oklahoma City is the culture of diversity, and Oklahoma City is the place where everything is happening. Things like the new GE Center, which so happens to be in Ward 7, as well as the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is also in Ward 7. I have lived in Oklahoma City all of my life, and there's no place like home, no place like Oklahoma City. What is missing from my neighborhood is sidewalks. I live in a neighborhood that has several thousands of people, and we do not have sidewalks in our neighborhood. So that's one of the things that I would have to say that's number one that's missing in our neighborhood. It's good that the walkability community is here at Juneteenth celebration. As you can see, this is a great crowd.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Over the course of time, I had the opportunity to visit a lot of places. So one of the things that I think that Oklahoma City can use is to see again, learn from the success of San Antonio, and I think we've done that with the Riverwalk, with the canal, and so I think we just need to continue learning from other cities. Maybe the city of Fort Worth, they are doing a lot of things that shows true diversity in their city, so maybe some things in Fort Worth.
My favorite thing about living in Oklahoma City is just the potential growth that it's showing. About 10 years ago, we were way behind, but now there's a lot of downtown development along with the Thunder. So I think our city is growing now because we were behind. Well, I used to stay over here on the northeast side, and when I was staying over here, there wasn't much leadership. Everyone was out for themselves, and no one was ever trying to help one another. It was always, I got mine, you have to get yours. I'd like to see more of a team effort, help those along the way. If you got to be successful, why not help somebody else be successful? It's perfect, everything is fine where I am now. But I grew up on the northeast side of Oklahoma City. So. Then we have an NBA team. I'd like to see an NFL team here.
Okay.
It's a good place to raise a family.
Okay. Why is it a good place to raise a family?
It's small enough to where you can raise a family, and also that foundation is there. So,
Okay.
missing from our neighborhood, I would say more beautification projects to improve the community, and there's more things surrounding the area to do.
Some more things surrounding the area?
Yeah.
Like development-wise?
Development-wise, yes. Our favorite place to visit is Louisiana. New Orleans.
Okay.
I would steer the whole Bourbon Street and bring it to Oklahoma. Gosh, it's just always something going on, whether it's a nightlife or just a family type of atmosphere.
I live in a depressed neighborhood.
Yeah.
I live off of 16th and Martin Luther King,
Yeah.
and there seems to be no
I'm listening.
there seems to be no economic development that's going on in my area. There's a lot of vacant houses. A lot of the kids have moved out, so the older people are there now. And what needs to come back is we need to get younger people to come back and invest back into the neighborhoods. They have houses. Those houses are structurally sound, but since nobody's living in them, they're starting to deteriorate. And urban renewal just comes along, buys the houses for little or nothing, and then tears them down. I'm hoping that we can get some of our younger folks to come back into the neighborhoods to try and help build our neighborhood. That's what I wanted to say. An easy way to do that is start trying to bring some of the economic development back into our neighborhood. This $20 million project that the city councilman has put on the board is a start, but it's not a finish. If you look at Martin Luther King from Reno all the way up to 23rd Street, there's nothing there. We need something to invest in to try and bring those people in, bring the jobs, bring buildings back. There's no buildings on that street. So it's economically depressed. And in order to get that a catalyst going, they need to get involved. And that'll bring the young people back. Once they have something to come back to, I think they'll stay.
You seem really passionate about this.
I am.
What makes
I
you
live there.
Yeah.
Because I live in this neighborhood. I grew up in this neighborhood. I'm a long-time Douglas High School graduate, 1973. So, you know, I bought my parents' house. I moved back into my parents' house. And there's nothing really wrong with the neighborhood, except we're missing people, and people seem to be vacating. It's becoming kind of like a wasteland, but it can be more than a wasteland if we just bring some more people in there. Well, we've got the starts of a river walk. San Antonio is a good place. I've been down there. I've been to Paris, and I'll tell you what. In Paris, you can just walk around the city. You can't do that here in Oklahoma City. That's one of the things that's missing from Oklahoma City. It's just being able to walk downtown, walk around the city, and enjoy things that, for instance, I'm 11 minutes from Bricktown, and you know that's the reason why I won't sell my house. You know, I'm right downtown, really, but it's not within walking distance. And there needs to be more shops and things in the walking area. Juneteenth, I love it. Hey.
Wow.
My favorite thing is this fact that it's like a big city, but it feels like a small town. They do have some parks, but the parks aren't really kept up that great.
Okay.
I think they could use a lot more TLC and just places for the family to hang out as a group. Most things cost money, and a lot of money. So it's kind of like you need to have something that's for everybody, not just people with a lot of money, or something you got to save up for months. And so I visited the Science Museum. That's a pretty neat place, but it cost me like $60 to get in and to do the stuff. So. And we really like the Museum of Osteology. That was only $5.
Museum of Osteology?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great place.
It was only $5 to get in. But something more like that, or like where they have on Thursdays, like at the museum, where they have $5 to get in. Some places more like that, I guess.
Yeah.
Dinosaur Bone. Probably the Museum of Osteology, or the Science Museum, and the Dinosaur Bone. We would want a dinosaur bone. And I think it's a great place to live. I think it's one of the greatest places to live. I drive through Dallas, and that's enough to let me know that I don't want it to get that big, Phil, you know? I like the size it's at, but, you know, it's a great place to be. Raise kids.
Well, the main thing I think that's missing that we need more of in Northeast Oklahoma City is a security presence. I think more of a police security presence will make a big difference for our community. I'd like to see our community get more cleaned up, where there's different types of activities that are going on that's making people want to get more involved in taking back the ownership of their properties. I do have property from the northeast side of Oklahoma City, and it's very, very important when neighborhoods are in a manner such as to make people want to move there. If your property is run down and there's not a good presence and there's not a good police presence there, people are not going to want to move back there, because the biggest thing that most people have is knowing that they're in a secure environment. Secure environment for the family, for the kids, for the children, for the schools and neighborhoods. And I think that would make a very, very big difference. Not only that, there need to be more opportunities for enterprise, different type of enterprising zones. There's a big push right now to get a new grocery store in the Oklahoma City area. That's a great deal, but that's just the start. I'm hoping that would be the catalyst for something growing further out into the community, not just in that one side area. But that's what's really important, you know, providing job opportunities, cleaning up the environment, cleaning up the community, and having a more secure and safe area to be in. What makes me want to do is I have property that I've provided for housing in my rental property for people who really can't afford homes, but I provide them a nice home to stay in. Yes, it's not theirs technically, but I try to keep it up, make sure that they take ownership of it. And that's what's really important. When people have a sense of ownership, they take a little bit more pride in what they're doing in their area. So, and sometimes the first step of that is just getting into a house, whether it's renting a house or, you know, whatever it is, leasing a house, is getting into one so you have a sense of ownership. So that's what's really important. I just like interacting with the community more than anything. There's a great organization called Northeast Resources right in the heart of Oklahoma City that does great work. I volunteer with them. I'm one of their partners there. We do food drives, we do clothing drives. I work at a company that we teach people to get their Class CDL license. So we train people to get the license to drive 18-wheelers. So my thing is going back to the community and helping provide an avenue for jobs and for education and just for furthering themselves as individuals. I enjoy where I am, you know, and I've seen our city grow from where we were just 10 years ago, you know, with the Thunder coming in and the MAP projects. You know, the city, we're getting to a point where we are becoming a destination. Not just a passage through Oklahoma City. Now people are coming here to stop, to spend time there, spend money here. And that's really what I want to happen. I hope that more people participate in this, you know, venue that you're doing. It's very important because it's the people whose voices need to be heard, and you're providing an opinion, and I think you
What do you think is missing from your neighborhood in Oklahoma City?
Well, I think the Northeast community is missing a lot of the stores and larger franchises that are in other communities. We don't have a 7-Eleven, there's not a Walmart. There's just, we actually just got a couple of banks that they added to the community. So I think any additions as far as bigger stores and like we don't have a mall, we don't have a shopping center or anything like that. Yeah, anything of that nature.
So sort of just basic services that
are in other areas that are missing from our community, correct. I think we're actually a big family, and as long as we have stuff that can keep us united as a family, then it'll just make it better. It'll make it better. I mean, I enjoy working at Ralph Ellison. The community is great. Everybody knows everybody, and I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's a plus. Well, I think the Botanical, the Omniplex, it's very informative, and I think if more people knew about it and could visit there. I mean, they go to the zoo all the time, but they actually don't go into the Omniplex, and they have a lot of information in there that's informative that will make the kids more knowledgeable about stuff outside of their community. Yeah. Well, I'm actually I'm working on my master's degree in criminal justice management and administration. So my thesis is to try to figure out why most of our juveniles are falling into the system and not getting the mental or the substance abuse help that they need, and it just keeps them in a cycle. So that's what I'm trying to move towards removing from them. Yeah. The library actually gives them a place to go to where they can actually learn. We're pushing the summer reading. We have incentives to help the kids want to read. We have a wonderful computer area. I'm actually the public computer specialist, so we have a great computer area. We help them out with social media. If they want to work on their resumes, help them with job applications. Right now, everything is online, so we have to help them to understand and to learn. And a lot of them don't know that. And that's from the seniors to the children. The actual children know more than the seniors. But yeah.
My favorite thing really is the growth. I've lived out of Oklahoma City for about 14 years, and so it's a very different city. So I'm excited about the growth. Lots of things for families to do together, lots of a really nice nightlife, and of course I'm a Thunder fan.
So you're saying you lived here before and then you came back?
Born and raised here until the age of 28, left, lived out in 2 different states, and then came back about a year ago.
Okay.
So very, very, very different. Very different. I lived in Hartford, Connecticut for about 7 years, and there they have very distinct cultural celebrations because there's so many people that are from many, many different cultures, and so that is one of the things that you don't necessarily, or at least I don't necessarily, never seen represented in Oklahoma City, even though we may not be as culturally diverse as someplace like Hartford, Connecticut, but it'd be a great thing to be able to see the distinguished types of cultures represented in the city. Well, I'm going to answer that in 2 parts. We've only lived here a year, and so the neighborhood that we live in is pretty quiet. That's a pretty quiet neighborhood. But I'm a superintendent at Millwood Public Schools, and so we spend 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day at Millwood. And so in the Northeast community, especially in particular, from my point of view, there's lots of things missing for children. Just not a lot of before, after school programs. I have a lot of working parents who need care for their kids. And so my school building is open from 6:50 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night because kids don't have anywhere else to go. In the summertime, there's not a lot of free programming for children. When I grew up in Oklahoma City, 8 minutes from Millwood, we had community centers and we had a pool in the summer, and those things just are absent. And so for kids, there's not a lot to do, especially in that community. He said, yeah, what she said. Oh, well, the 2 parts was, the first part was our neighborhood is quiet. It's just quiet. Oh, okay. So that was the first part. Sorry.
And that could also kind of be there's no community centers in our neighborhood.
That is true. That is true. There are probably a lack of community centers in the neighborhood that we live, that we actually have a house in. So there's just not a lot of things for children to do by themselves, you know, without parent supervision. But like I said, I grew up in the land of, in the time of community centers, and that's what you did every summer. Is you went to the community center and you swam and you did arts and crafts and you played finger pool. That was the thing to do. So that doesn't really exist anymore. Well, and I think the future of Oklahoma City has to include all of its residents. I think, especially in the Northeast community, not being able to go to a grocery store that has, you know, good, wholesome foods for people to purchase. I think it's deplorable that I pay more for gas on the northeast side of town than I pay on the west side of town. Like, I will just ride with my light on until I get closer to home, because gas in the northeast community is 10-15 cents more a gallon than it is anywhere else in the city. So there has to be some development, and there has to be some push towards supporting education programs and community programs for kids.
I would definitely have to say my favorite thing about living here in OKC is the sense of community. It's definitely a neighborly type of place. A lot of people know each other. It's very nice. is how I like to kind of describe it. I know that there are a lot of other places in the United States where people aren't as friendly, when especially strangers, perfect strangers. So I think that says a lot about a community whenever you can be nice to someone you've never even met before, and I love that about Oklahoma. I think what's missing from our neighborhoods is more of a sense of coming together, as far as when things happen, when events are thrown, when for instance, a Moore tornado that just took place. When things like that happen, I'd like to see more of Oklahoma come together and more of the communities reach out to each other and lend hands and help and volunteer and do things like that. So I think what would be missing is more of a sense of coming together in a time of need. I think, this is maybe seems like a weird answer, but the use of our public library system.
Okay.
I've seen that in a lot of places. The public library system is more like somewhere to go to, have fun. It's like kind of like we would go to Frontier City. Other places, they go to the library for activities, entertainment, fun, especially taking their kids. I'd like to bring that to Oklahoma. I'd like to see more families and more people enjoying free, fun activities that are educational. I think that would be awesome. We need to have families go to the library more and really take part in what we're paying for, what our taxes are going towards. Let's use that and really just gain, education.
Well, I tell you, I've lived here all my life, and what I love the most is the daring spirit that our people have in this city, and the idea that we can do anything. I think that transcends our government now, because that's the way our people feel, and I think that's why we stand out in the country as one of the places to live in the United States today. It's that positive Oklahoma City attitude. Well, let me say this. I'm new in this neighborhood. I live in Northwest Oklahoma City, and I'm a real estate developer. And I recently bought the Paige Woodson School and the property around it. And so I'm new to this neighborhood, and I think this part of Oklahoma City and this neighborhood, this northeast part of Oklahoma City, is on the brink of a real breakthrough in growth and an opportunity, and I want to be a part of it. We bought the school. I've developed in downtown Oklahoma City, and I see this as a great opportunity to add residential development in this part of Oklahoma City, and I like the cooperation that we have here in Oklahoma City. And I guess in this neighborhood, what I would change is give people more opportunities to live here, more residential opportunities. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Okay, your words.
I mean, we love to visit different places, but I always want to come home to Oklahoma City. You can't change the weather. I think, if we had a more temperate weather, we can't change that. I just don't think I'm not sure that there is anything.
There's a lot of great things about my neighborhood, and I wouldn't really change anything about it. I just like meeting new people and different opportunities I have. Like, I can play and I can eat food. I live in Edmonds.
In Edmonds? Okay, cool.
I like how there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood, so I'm never really bored. And that if one's gone, I can go out with another one and meet them and play somewhere. We have a park on the end of our street, so me and my friends usually go down there and we hang out there.
A park? Cool.
There's slides and there's some swings and there's a giant hill, and we like to ride our bikes down the hill. I don't know. I think that there's some kids that are kind of less social, and they live on the other side of the street, and that side of the street no one really comes out, and so I never see them that much. So I think that they should have time to come out instead of being in their house all the time. I think they all go to a different school too. there's a lot of places to go, so you get to meet a lot of different people. I lived in a place called Abilene, Texas for 6 years of my life, and it's a really close-knit community, and everyone knew each other, and it was easy to get around places. So I would like that in the metropolitan area, because there's people on the other side of the town that you might see once and you might connect with, and then you might never see them again. And I think that it's good to keep your friends close.
This is my first time coming to this event. I've been to several other ones, but not here. I've lived somewhere everywhere, so I've been to. This is the only one I've been to here in Oklahoma City.
You live in Oklahoma City now?
Midwest City.
Midwest City. Okay. Where else have you lived?
L.A., Little Rock, Arkansas, Folkestone, Georgia.
All for jobs you're moving around, or?
No, just through my childhood and up until adult. I moved a lot.
What's your favorite thing about the neighborhood that you live in now?
Nothing. There's nothing really. I stay like the thing here is zoning. Zoning is messed up. When I go past the sign, it says "Welcome to Midwest City," but my address is Oklahoma City, so it doesn't make sense. And so my kids, we stay in Midwest City. I would like for them to go to Midwest City schools, but they have to go to Oklahoma City schools, and the school that they're going to is horrible. I don't know, I guess I've lived everywhere, so everything is a little different. I would like for the neighborhoods to get together and try to keep the neighborhood clean, try to push, gang activity and drug activity out. It's nothing that I've seen them do, but I know it's there. And, help people get together, helping each other, keep their yards clean and debris off the road and loud music, and some of these guys need to keep their music inside the car instead of outside the car. Yeah, I haven't got that yet. Well, the city can help out. They're quick to sanction you and fine you, but not quick enough to help you get the situation taken care of. It's if they say, hey, you guys need to do this, that, and the other, they'll slap a fat fine on you, instead of helping you get it fixed. And some of the people that are in the neighborhood are old people, so they can't get out there and paint their house and fix up a fence. They don't, and their income doesn't support that. So it's something that that the community and then even the city can help her do or help them do. Let's take LA for instance. I was born and raised in LA. The community there, regardless to what you see on TV, a lot of the people in the neighborhood stick together. And it's like if we know somebody down the street or next door and stuff like that, people look after each other. They don't let people just come in and do just random stuff. Regardless of what you see on TV, there's a lot of good neighborhoods in LA. And they all stick together. They come together. Like if Miss Thomas need her yard cut, one of the little guys would come up through and say, hey, Miss Thomas, I'm going to cut your yard today. And just cut the yard. Don't charge her anything. And then later on down the line, Miss Thomas might see little guy struggling, might need some water or something to drink or something to eat, and she feeds him. It kind of works in a circle. Here it doesn't work like that. It's like everybody's off to themselves and they don't communicate enough with each other.
That everyone likes to hang out.
I think one thing that's evident, and a lot of people don't talk about it, is racism is strong here. And it's not so much in LA. If you're white, I'm black. If you move next door to us, we're not gonna come over and bring you pies and the typical upper class neighborhood. We might scope you out for a little bit. Oh, he cool. What's up, dog? And you become like part of the neighborhood because there are a lot of white kids that grew up in black neighborhoods down there, and to us, they black people. Here it's not the same. You got people looking at you differently, and it's like I trust them, but I don't. I trust them as far as I can throw them, and that's not very far. And so I think racism plays a lot into that. I would like for everybody to get a little along, but unfortunately, because of the stereotypical way of everybody being labeled a judge, it's not going to happen that way. I think the city is the problem. It's the things that you put on TV, the things that you show people, and then the news hurts everybody. Because when something happens, I've been to jail before, so I'm sitting amongst a lot of guys, white, black, Hispanic, Chinese, and when they see certain things on TV, they be like, man, that black dude or that white dude, or they need to stay in their neighborhoods and let us stay in ours. When they show that stuff on TV, that gives people the thought like, I don't want him over here. And then when they see somebody move over there, it could be somebody that's not even in part of that. But when they see them, that stereotypical thing kicks into their mind first before they get to know who the people are. I'm gonna be truthful with you. There is nothing here in Oklahoma City or outside of Oklahoma that I would consider a favorite place or some place that I would really want to be. The reason why is because you can't get used to anything here. When you, like a restaurant can open up and you go there like, man, they got awesome food. 2 or 3 months later, they're gone. You can go to some place and work out and like, man, I really like this gym. 2 or 3 months later, they're gone or they're moved. Nothing stays still, and people don't support each other enough for them to do it. You know, there are a lot of things like businesses that open, 2 or 3 months later, they're closed. I think them taking away swimming pools and sticking up these water parks, I think that's just, it's asinine, it's crazy. I think they should have kept the swimming pools. In LA, let's just put it like this. My wife and I are considering moving, for me, back home. For her, it'd be the first time. For the kids, I would love it. There's something and somewhere for them to go and do every single day. How this park is packed today, tomorrow, because there's no event, you might see a few people here. In LA, a park like this is packed every single day from the sun up to the sun goes down. And the kids have something to do all day, every day. The bus, they could run a little later so people could get home. You know, nobody wants to run, try to get to a stop at 6:30 and realize I ain't got nowhere to go. I gotta call somebody to come get me, and if you ain't got nobody to call, you're walking. The kids don't have enough activities to do. These kids, my kids are stuck at home, and if there's no electronics, when I came up, we didn't have a PlayStation and Xbox and stuff like that. We didn't have cell phones and beepers and stuff. We got on our bikes and we rode all over. And LA is way bigger than Oklahoma City. My pops has come to pick me up from someplace, and I didn't realize we were 50 miles away from home, but on bikes. And he was just there to bring us an inner tube so we could up and go back home. That was it. I didn't realize we were 50 miles away. There's not enough here to do. And then the prices are like insane. Like Whitewater Bay, that thing is almost 30 bucks for an adult. Raging Waters in California is 18 bucks. And it's 3 times bigger than that. The Frontier City, 30 bucks. You can walk through, if you don't get on any rides, you can walk through in 5 minutes. No variety of food, no nothing. It's nothing big enough. Asking for a comparison, I'm from LA. There's Disneyland, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Knott's Berry Farm, Old Country Town Fair. There's a fair off the beach. There's Venice Beach. There's all the beaches. There are arcades still active, and every single park is full, and all of them have swimming pools, and you can bring Kool-Aid packs to get in. There's none of that here. They can do better on the schools. The schools, I thought that lottery money, when it was won, it's supposed to go to the schools. But from what I'm learning from some school teachers and other staff, that money starts in Edmond and Norman first and then works its way in. And so these schools like Rogers and Maroney and all these teachers are complaining about more money, but they don't want to teach the kids anything. My daughter had one of, I'm going to use a better word than what I'm going to use. She was not as intelligent as she should have been in math. She didn't know how to teach math. Their methods for teaching math had the kids not wanting to learn. My method for teaching math to my own kids, they got it, took off, ran with it, and it was gone. My daughter had 2 F's and passed to the next grade. An F in my day, you don't go to the next grade, you stay. But they passed her, and they're just pushing the kids along without teaching them. That's why other countries, they keep their kids in school and make sure they're passed. They're surpassing us in everything because they train their kids better. The people over here, there's been several times that my son went to Pleasant Hill, and it's supposed to be one of the better schools. Several times I've been to the school and I've seen the teacher sitting back working on her phone more than she was standing up teaching the kids. Problem that needs to be really seriously addressed.
Do we introduce ourselves?
Action.
How we look?
You look great.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead with the questions. Well, my favorite thing in living in OKC, I met this beautiful woman in OKC. And yours?
Everything. I'm from here, so I'm gonna be here.
Everything?
Yeah.
What is missing from the neighborhood that I think? Swag. Supportive women. We need all women from different ages, race, to come together, support each other, stop the violence.
All right. What about you?
I put this organization together. I gotta go.
No, we can't, because that's gonna make it editing. We gotta go. Boom. You like the squad.
He knows all about it.
The reason why, oh my God. The reason why I came up with swag, supportive women appreciate God's guidance, is to bring the women in the Oklahoma City area together because of all the hate that I feel that's going on between our women. It's just an organization just to empower women to bring us together. We're just trying to implement like fitness and just talk about relationships, other people's testimonies and all kinds of stuff.
Kind of a support group?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would love for that to happen as far as wise in the community with the women, because it's a lot of drama, unnecessary drama, as far as well with baby daddy, baby mama drama, fighting, arguing, all of the unnecessary drama. We felt, well, she feels like every woman should stand their own ground. Like, I salute Hillary Clinton. I think she'd be the next president. That's how powerful I think women are to men. As a man, we need strong women to have our back. Without that, we ain't what, I mean, it's like every king have a strong queen, right? And once again, swag is bringing everybody together. Once again, we talk about anything. Just a woman should be comfortable enough to talk about their relationship, and that's why she's bringing it together, because it's bringing strong women together, and they feel comfortable talking to another woman. You know, since for instance, as if a woman's to come to the swag community, talk about her past tense relationship, might help the next woman what to do and how to do it. And the community, the Oklahoma community is pretty good so far. Shout out to the Thunders once again. And yeah, I just want to support strong women.
I've been to Texas, and I feel we need to come up like Texas. But it's doing our own thing.
So what specifically?
I don't know.
I say we need to have more things for the youth. A lot more things for the youth. Because that's really where it starts from. When people like the youth coming up with positive people, positive role models, then everything will come together outside of that. But outside of that, yeah, I would say the youth. Strong, educated, and hopefully one day we'll be able to have strong community together, come together without the violence. And that's my auntie, by the way. Get her on camera. She's a, and let me say this one thing, not to even throw my auntie under the bus, but she's a single parent with 2 boys, and she's doing a hell of a job. She's doing a hell of a job. We gotta get you on the camera, ain't it? And that's one thing too about that. Single parents that's raising their kids. She got to. And on that note, God is good and swag.
That is fun, and there's a lot of things to do.
Like, what are the fun things you like to do?
Come to the parks and go to like museums and the zoo and Will Rogers.
Will Rogers?
Tennis.
Tennis? You like to play tennis?
Praise the Lord, everybody! Praise the Lord, everybody! A new street.
A what?
New street. To me, it feels like we have everything.
I think we have everything.
Las Vegas.
And what would you, if you could steal one thing from Las Vegas and bring here, what would it be?
The museum park.
The what?
It's like this big park.
Okay. What do they have there?
They have like roller coasters, bikes, My favorite thing is that I know that Oklahoma City will come together to help people, no matter what. Because they're just like that. What makes you say that? It's because, like, you know, like the tornadoes, the main tornadoes and stuff, everybody is coming together to help, and they're not being selfish and not just coming to help and just leaving them there to suffer. Tulsa, and I don't know, maybe some of my family, because I don't have a lot of family in Oklahoma City.
Community, the different, the familiarity of it. I've lived here most of my life, and it's a quiet place, a good place for family. Pretty much, I think that it's the community. You have a lot of personal relationships, I guess it is what I would think or call it, and I guess for me, familiar surroundings that kind of give you a close-knit feel. I enjoy the Thunder. I enjoy the Thunder. Glad that they're here, and the impact that it has had to bring positive things. And I'd like to see other positive relationships within the communities and stuff like that. If maybe the faith-based and the city and all of them could come together to affect different families. I'd like to see a lot of maybe some parenting programs. What's missing from my neighborhood is I believe a lot of maybe programs for children on their downtime, maybe tutoring, different things like that, fun things for them to do, activities that would keep them from getting into things that they normally wouldn't get into if they didn't have something, I'd like to see programs based around things that are maybe child appropriate, different things like that. One of my favorite places that I visited is Mount Scott, and the Wichita Mountains here, and it's in Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma. That's one of my favorite places. And I think just mainly the serenity, just the beauty of it. I mean, it's such a beautiful place, and there's a lot of peace and serene. It's like Oklahoma, but you're not really sure that you're in Oklahoma because it's such a...
My parents.
Your parents? Okay. What about you? You can just laugh now. I'm going to bring you.
I want my mom and daddy, sister, brother, and my
I think it's all the fun things to do that they have.
Like what kind of fun things? What are your favorites?
Like the Thunder and the park thing that we're doing today and things like that.
We need to have more activities like
I know.
What?
What do you like to do in Oklahoma? What do you like about Oklahoma?
Spend time with my family and do fun things with my family and like go to the park.
The village.
Village?
The saying it takes a village.
Oh, okay.
That's what's called.
So more of a sense of community?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
What's missing? What's missing?
Nothing? Okay.
I like our aquarium here, but we need more attractions. Need more animals, more fish.
Okay. What do you think?
The zoo and Six Flags and the fair.
Okay. What about you?
We can go to fun places, but you need some grown-ups.
What'd you say?
We can go to fun places, but we need some grown-ups.
Anything else you want to add about Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a wonderful place.
All right.
I love it. I've been here all my life.
I love it. You can sit. You can sit.
What about you?
It's for people to live in, and you can do all
fishing? You like fishing?
Yeah, fishing. Yeah.